June 4th, 1942. Dawn breaks over the Central Pacific as waves of Japanese aircraft thunder toward Midway Atoll.
It's Japan's moment to finish what Pearl Harbor started. Total destruction of the U.S. Pacific Fleet. But let's change one thing.
Slicing through the waves at impossible speeds sits something that shouldn't exist for another 74 years.
So, what happens when the most advanced warship on Earth faces off against the Imperial Japanese Navy at their absolute peak? This isn't your great...
The USS Zumwalt looks like it was designed by aliens who really hate enemy radar.
Here's what this floating supercomputer is packing. 80 vertical launch system cells loaded with enough guided missiles to delete small countries from existence.
We're talking SM-6 surface-to-air missiles that can swat planes out of the sky from 150 plus miles away. Tomahawk cruise missiles with a 1,000-mile range.
Here's the 155mm gun system. But look at this. Each shell costs more than a brand new Lamborghini. That's simply too expensive. The ship's brain is an AN/SPY-3 radar array that can track hundreds of targets simultaneously while brewing coffee and calculating your taxes.
It sees everything, tracks everything, and can guide missiles to hit a golf ball traveling at 600 miles per hour. Powered by 70... Admiral Yamamoto isn't messing around. He brought the crown jewels, Akagi, Kaga, Soryu, and Hiryu. Flying Zeros, Kates, and Vals. These aren't just any carriers. They're the most experienced naval aviators on the planet. Supporting this aerial armada are battleships, cruisers, and destroyers. Over 100 warships total.
The first wave of Japanese aircraft lifts off from their carriers, 108 planes strong. They're heading for Midway.
The Japanese pilots have no idea they're about to become history's most one-sided turkey shoot. The first SM-6 missile streaks into the sky. Panic spreads through the formation like wildfire. The tight attack formation descends rapidly into chaos.
The Zumwalt has moved to intercept. More SM-6 missiles shriek skyward. Japanese Zeros, the terror of the Pacific, disintegrate like paper airplanes in a hurricane. The Zumwalt goes on the offensive. These missiles streak across the ocean at 550 miles per hour, 50 feet above the waves.
But even gods have limits. The Zumwalt carries 80 missiles total. Impressive.
And there's still the Japanese submarine threat. I-168 lurks somewhere beneath the waves.
All while you could count American losses on one hand.
The ship would be remembered as the Phantom of Midway. Some 74 years of military advancement that would compress Japan.
It's Japan's moment to finish what Pearl Harbor started. But let's change one thing. So, what happens when the most advanced warship on Earth faces off against the Imperial Japanese Navy at their absolute peak? But wait, there's more. Two 155mm Xanthams that were supposed to fire precision. It sees everything, tracks everything, and can guide missiles to hit a golf ball traveling at 600 miles per hour. Powered by 78 megawatts of electric power, flying Zeros, Kates, and Vals. These aren't just any carriers. They're the most experienced naval aviators on the planet, fresh off clean. Supporting this aerial armada are battleships, cruisers, and destroyers. Over 100 Shiyanto. The Zumwalt can kill them from the next zip code. At 0430 hours, the first wave of Japanese planes... The Japanese pilots have no idea they're about to become history's most one-sided turkey shoot. The first SM-6 missile streaks into the dawn sky at... Admiral Nagumo, aboard the carrier Akagi, receives the survivors' reports with growing alarm.
It sounds like a mass hallucination.
He orders the second wave to launch immediately. 170 more planes racing toward Midway. The Zumwalt has moved to intercept. The Zumwalt goes on the offensive. These missiles streak across the ocean at 550 miles per hour. Akagi's lookouts spotted. But even gods have limits.
I-168 lurks somewhere beneath the waves, armed with a Type 95 torpedo. A single lucky shot could cripple even the Zumwalt.
When the smoke clears,
The Battle of Midway is the most lopsided naval victory in history.
The ship would be remembered as the Phantom of Midway, some 74 years of military advancement that would compress Japan's defeat from years into hours.
If you're curious what would happen if a modern tank landed at Normandy on D-Day, check this video out, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.
But what if the time displacement effect wasn't limited to the sea? June 6th, Knights of Normandy. Imagine a map amidst the chaos, a thunderous rumble unlike any before. An M
Against the armored behemoths of 1944 like the Tiger I, the Abrams isn't just better, it's a completely different species. Its modern fire control system,
German 88mm anti-tank guns would simply bounce off its depleted uranium armor. Its main gun would penetrate any armor from any angle.
the entrenched German defenses, designed to hold for days, would be torn apart in minutes. The D-Day landings,
A single M1 Abrams could rewrite the entire Western Front, accelerating the Allied victory by months, maybe even years. These are the kind of what-if scenarios that truly highlight the vast chasm of military innovation across the centuries. What other modern...
With the M1 Abrams on the beaches, D-Day isn't just a foothold, it's a sledgehammer. The initial breakthroughs are instant.
Its speed and firepower are simply insurmountable. Conventional defenses, anti-tank ditches, even fortified...
Back at German High Command, confusion turns to terror. Reports of an unstoppable monster tank spread like...
Of course, an Abrams in 1944 isn't without its challenges. Modern diesel fuel isn't readily available, but its overwhelming superiority means these issues are more annoyances than insurmountable obstacles.
Entire defensive lines, like the Siegfried, are rendered obsolete. The sheer psychological impact of an unkillable tank.
Allied morale soars, fueling an unprecedented advance. The M1 Abrams becomes a symbol of invincibility.
Every German attempt to stop it, from their mighty 88 Panzerfausts.
The Western Front collapses in a matter of months, not years. The M1 Abrams fundamentally rewrites the timeline of world.
From a D-Day landing craft to a symbol of accelerated victory, the M1 Abrams proved itself the ultimate game.
The M1 Abrams didn't just win battles, it completely rewrote the Western Front. Germany's defenses simply evaporated. But to truly cripple the Reich and end the war even faster, we need to strike at the heart of its war machine. From above.
Enter the B-2 Spirit, a ghost in the sky. Its radar signature is smaller than a bird, and its payload can reshape cities with pinpoint accuracy.
In 1904X, no scatter, no missed targets, just critical infrastructure demolished with surgical precision.
A single pass is enough to neutralize an entire production line without needing a massive bomber fleet.
Impossible! No planes! No alarm! How can this be happening?
Week after week, Germany's industrial heart is systematically dismantled, with zero Allied losses to enemy defenses.
The strategic bombing campaign, once a bloody, costly affair, becomes an efficient, one-side operation.
With the Abrams on the ground and the B-2 in the air, World War II is shortened to an almost unrecognizable conflict.
But what about land warfare? What if we sent another futuristic marvel back to a crucial moment on the ground? Let's transport the M1 Abrams, the peak of tank technology, to the beaches of Normandy. June 6, 1944.
Chobham armor, thermal optics, depleted uranium rounds. It's a land-based fortress that sees in the dark and punches through anything.
On the German side, heavily entrenched defenses await, manned by soldiers using 1944 technology.
As the Allied assault begins, the Abrams barrels onto the beach. German anti-tank fire bounces off its hull like pebbles.
Panic erupts in the German command. Their most powerful defenses vanish without a trace, and their instruments register nothing.
The Abrams systematically dismantles every obstacle, creating a clear path for the landing infantry and vehicles.
With the most formidable defenses neutralized, the Allied forces pour ashore and push inland at an unprecedented pace.
D-Day, historically a bloody, drawn-out battle, is now a swift, decisive victory. Europe is liberated in record time.
Modern technology isn't just about winning. It's about reshaping history, turning years of conflict into mere weeks or days. Another challenge, another era, another game-changing piece of tech.
Imagine the deadliest hunter of the deep, transported to the most brutal submarine war in history, the Battle of the Atlantic.
This is the USS Virginia-class attack submarine.
In 1943, Allied convoys were being decimated by German U-boats, sailing in wolf packs.
But the Virginia sees them all, with sonar capabilities that would seem like witchcraft to a U-boat commander.
One by one, the Virginia's Mark 48 torpedoes spring to life, hunting their prey.
What is happening?
We're losing hull integrity. It came out of nowhere.
Another U-boat attempts a desperate counterattack, but the Virginia is simply too fast, too quiet.
The Wolfpack is decimated, the convoy saved, and the Atlantic shipping lanes are cleared. The Battle of the Atlantic, once a grueling, multi-year struggle, is resolved in a matter of days.
With Allied convoys flowing freely, the war in Europe compresses too. Supply lines are secure, production surges, and the end comes much sooner. The impact reverberates across the globe. No prolonged U-boat threat means resources can be fully committed to the Pacific. The relentless push begins.
The final acts of the war are expedited. With overwhelming force and an accelerated timeline, the conflict concludes faster than history remembers.
From the Pacific to the Atlantic, the ripples are profound. A single intervention, a dash of future tech, and history takes a drastically different path.
What other moments could be changed? What other technologies could rewrite destiny? We'll explore more alternate histories next time.
Thanks for watching!